Alright everybody, it's time for more eShop deals, and after the excitement of this week's Switch 2 announcement, it's just great knowing most releases are going to be backwards compatible. That means we can just breathe easy while working through our backlogs without worrying about leaving games behind. Now, as always, I'm going to be covering deals for the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, but I'm going to be honest here, not a massive sale this week, but there are a ton of hidden gems on offer, and that's exactly what I'm diving into today. Now, later in the video then, I'll also be announcing the two winners of the two $10 eShop gift cards, and then I've got two more to give away. To enter, just drop a comment down below and I'll be announcing those winners in next Saturday's video. Now look, if you do enjoy this video, do me a favour, hit that subscribe button, helps out the channel more than you know, and yeah, let's get into these deals. Rising Hell is 60% off, matching its lowest price, and if you're after a brutal yet bite-sized roguelite experience, this one's a winner. Imagine a vertical platformer where you're constantly battling your way up through hell itself. The pixel art style is incredible, it's dark, gritty, oozing atmosphere, and the violence completely over the top in the best possible way. But what really sells it for me, the tight responsive controls that make every jump, combo and dodge just feel incredibly satisfying. Now story-wise, it's simple but effective. You're trapped in the depths of hell and the only way out is up. You'll be slashing through hordes of demons, navigating traps and facing down these different ancient bosses. The gameplay here, fast, aggressive, it's really designed to keep you on your toes, and then along the journey you can unlock new characters, each offering different playstyles, mixing up your approach with various talents and different upgrades. Plus with procedurally generated levels, every run feels fresh, and the heavy metal soundtrack, well of course, that is a winner. Dead Cells Medley A Pain Bundle is 40% off, matching its lowest price, and yeah, if you're after one of the best roguelites out there, this is the game. If you want an experience you can easily sink over 100 hours into, this is the one. This bundle, it packs everything as well. It includes the standout Return to Castlevania DLC, plus 4 more expansions that add tons of new weapons, biomes, enemies, bosses, and just more basically. Keeps every run here feeling fresh. Now at its core, Dead Cells, it's a fast-paced action roguelite with Metroidvania elements, and you'll be battling through a constantly shifting location, facing tough enemies and brutal bosses in what is essentially 2D Souls-like combat. No checkpoints here as well, it's all about learning, adapting and pushing further with every single attempt, and yeah, expect to experiment with over 150 weapons and skills. You'll be unlocking new areas with special abilities, and you'll be taking on some of the most challenging bosses in the genre. Roguebook Deluxe Edition is 90% off, matching its lowest price, and if you're into roguelike deck builders, this one is absolutely worth checking out. Now, I was a big fan of how it blends strategic deck building with this almost unique hex-based grid system. You'll be exploring those different locations, gathering powerful items, and carefully managing your moves as you work towards boss battles. It's really all about balancing risk and reward, deciding how far to push while making sure your heroes are well positioned for what is ahead. Regarding the story, it drops you into a magical book that's come to life, and every page presents a new challenge. You'll be controlling then on the battlefield 2 heroes, each with their own deck of cards, and the game encourages smart positioning. One hero guards the front line while the other supports from behind. And the gameplay, it focuses on building a strong deck from over 200 cards or collecting relics and unlocking hero abilities. This then, it's also the Deluxe Edition, and it packs in some great extras. You get Figoro, a new playable hero with 50 additional cards, talents and treasures. There's then also an alternate art pack with new card designs, and a hero skin pack with exclusive outfits for the main characters. I'll link my video below, but I'd say here, my only complaint, it can get a tiny bit choppy in a couple of places. Coffee Talk is 50% off, matching its lowest price, and if you're in the mood for a chill and narrative adventure, it's a great pick. The sequel is also on sale right now too if you do fancy it, but for me, this first game, I enjoyed it way more than I expected. Considering the entire game is about basically listening to people's problems or making them warm drinks, but that simple mix, it works perfectly. Now, it's set in an alternate Seattle where humans live alongside elves, orcs, mermaids, and other fantasy races, and you run a late night cafe where customers open up about their lives. The conversations, they cover everything from forbidden love to self-identity, and your role is to quietly listen and craft drinks that might comfort them. Our gameplay then is laid back. You're mixing ingredients to make different coffees, teas and other drinks, and yeah, you'll basically be serving up these drinks to subtly shape each character's story. The 90s anime inspired pixel art then and smooth lo-fi soundtrack, they're winners in my opinion too. Alright, quick self-plug then. I've got a decent amount of Switch videos coming up this week. Wanted to give you a heads up there. Do keep an eye out for those. things are definitely starting to warm up again in the new year. But if you are into content like this, so deals, reviews, lists, all that good stuff, but maybe for PlayStation instead, check out PlayStationCorner. It's linked down below, and I would love to see you across there. Children of Morta is 80% off a new low price, and while I'm highlighting the base game here, the complete edition with all of its DLC, that's also on sale, and it might be worth grabbing if the game clicks with you, or at least the concept. And this one's become a bit of a classic on the system, and you've got to respect how the developers supported it for years after its 2019 release. And the game, it tells a story about the Bergson family, guardians of Mount Morta, as they face a spreading corruption threatening their world. But this isn't your typical save the world plot here. It's about family, love, sacrifice, and the bonds that hold people together during dark times. Now, gameplay-wise, it's a roguelite action RPG where you play as different family members, each with unique combat styles and abilities, so whether it's sword swinging, magic casting, or archery, there is a playstyle for everyone. You'll be diving though into procedurally generated dungeons, collecting upgrades, and facing off against some seriously tough bosses. It also then features a local co-op, so you can team up with a friend. It's great fun, and the art style, stunning in motion. The Legend of Tianding is 66% off a new low price, and I reviewed this one on the channel, video below, and for the most part I'll say this, I really enjoyed it. It's a side-scrolling action platformer with RPG elements that tell the story of Liao Tianding, Taiwan's version of Robin Hood. Now you'll be robbing the rich and helping the poor while fighting against oppressive colonial authorities. Now the combat here just shines, blending fast-paced kung fu with smooth aerial combos, weapon steals, and grappling hook movement that really keeps fights exciting. Boss battles especially, they stood out to me as well here, but visually, the game is stunning as well, with its traditional Chinese manga-inspired art style, and the levels are really well designed with branching paths that make exploration rewarding. My only real complaint was the hub world between levels. The narrative-heavy back and forth felt a bit tedious and just slowed the pacing for me. Still though, look, the core gameplay more than makes up for it, and yeah, you'll see that in my full review. Space for the Unbound is 45% off a new low price, and honestly, one of the best narrative-driven games I've played in recent memory. Everything about it, from the stunning pixel art to the atmospheric world and heartfelt storytelling, it's just beautifully done. Now, story-wise, it's set in late 90s rural Indonesia. You follow two high school sweethearts, Atma and Rhea, as they navigate the challenges of growing up, mental health struggles, and a mysterious supernatural force threatening their world. Their journey of self-discovery, it leads them to explore their town, uncover hidden secrets, and dive into the minds of others in this kind of Inception-style twist. Now, gameplay, it blends exploration, puzzle solving, and dialogue with townspeople, creating a deeply immersive and especially emotional experience. It touches on themes of anxiety, depression, and personal growth without feeling heavy-handed, and that's honestly for me how it succeeds the most. Immortal Redneck is 60% off right now, not quite its lowest price ever, but we haven't seen that since early 2021. In fact, it's only been discounted 4 times since then, and this matches the lowest during that stretch. So yeah, if you're a fan of fast-paced first-person shooters, this one is well worth considering, and given it's not on sale too often, who knows when we will see it next. And the game, it throws you into the role of a redneck tourist who mysteriously wakes up mummified in ancient Egypt after a bizarre accident, with no clue how he got there or why he's now a mummy. Basically, yeah, you're left to fight your way through the 3 pyramids here. They're each filled with deadly monsters, traps, massive bosses, and your big mission, well, it's simple really, blast your way through and uncover the truth. Gameplay though combines old school like FPS action with roguelike mechanics, so yeah, expect twitchy arcade style gunplay paired with randomly generated dungeons, permadeath, and a skill tree for progression. You can choose them from 9 different classes, each with unique traits, and wield over 50 weapons, from traditional guns to bizarre ones like a potato launcher, scroll modifiers, and also kind of mix things up, throwing random effects into the gameplay that can either help or hinder your run. I will say finally then, a warning, definitely not an easy game. So for the Circle is 55% off a new low price. I reviewed this one, check out that video link below. Now to be upfront with this one, it's not going to be for everyone. It's a slow burn, narrative-driven adventure with minimal gameplay, but I was completely hooked. The way it balances exploration with emotional storytelling just really worked for me, and yeah, I couldn't put it down. Now here you're playing as Peter, a Cambridge academic who crash lands in Cold War Antarctica. You're stranded and searching for help. Basically what's happening is Peter's present struggles are interwoven with flashbacks to his past, exploring his relationship with fellow academic Clara and the life choices that led him here. The narrative though dives into themes of ambition, love and the weight of promises, and regarding gameplay again like minimal. You're focused really on dialogue choices that shape Peter's story and that minor exploration. What really stands out though is the game's just beautiful minimalist art style and fully motion captured performances which make the narrative feel incredibly grounded but also very cinematic. This War of Mine Complete Edition is 95% off, matching its lowest price, and while it's always on sale, it's been a while since I've spoken to it, and this game is a masterpiece. In fact, I think it's one of the most impactful portrayals of war in video games, focusing not on soldiers but on civilians struggling to survive in a besieged city. The way it captures the harsh reality of war's toll on ordinary people is so powerful that it's even been used in university courses as academic material, which I think says a lot about its storytelling depth. Now, in This War of Mine, you control a group of civilians hiding in a crumbling shelter. By day, snipers make it too dangerous for you to go outside, so you spend time crafting, cooking, repairing your base. At night then, you must send someone out to scavenge for food, medicine and other supplies, often facing dangerous situations and difficult moral choices. Basically, every decision here weighs heavily, so do you steal from others to keep your group alive, or risk losing someone by playing it safe? It's a constant struggle between survival and morality. The Complete Edition then includes the full game, the Anniversary Edition update which added new characters and locations, and the Little Ones DLC which explores the effects of war through the eyes of a child. It also features This War of Mine stories, and these are basically 3 narrative driven expansions, so The Father's Promise, The Last Broadcast and Fading Embers. Azure Striker GUNVOLT 3 is 55% off, a new low price. I reviewed this one, find that video linked below. Now I know some fans weren't too thrilled about the new lead character Kirin, but personally I enjoyed this just as much as the earlier entries. It's a fast-paced Mega Man-esque action platformer and I'm just simply a sucker for this genre. Now the high-speed action, tight controls and flashy combat, they are all here and it just feels great to play. Now in this installment you'll be switching between Kirin and series protagonist GUNVOLT on the fly, blending Kirin's precise swordplay with GUNVOLT's devastating lightning abilities. The game's story mode plus then keeps the action flowing when you do replay without stopping for cutscenes, if that's maybe more your speed as well, but it actually lets the characters banter in real time so the narrative unfolds without breaking up the gameplay. Now new to GUNVOLT 3 then is the image pull system, where you collect over 150 memories that let you summon allies and enemies from past games to aid in combat. The game also cranks up the style with over-the-top visuals and flashy effects, and yeah, it's generally just perfectly suited for the Switch and it runs perfectly. Sifu is 60% off, matching its lowest price. It's an absolute gem if you're craving kind of a tough-as-nails action game. Now, transparently, there are occasional frame rate dips, but they're rare and don't detract much from the experience. What really makes this one stand out though is its unique aging mechanic. Every time you die, your character ages, and with each resurrection, you grow stronger but also more fragile. Your strikes basically hit harder, but your health pool shrinks, pushing you to master the combat system before that time runs out. And the story follows a martial artist on a relentless path of revenge, hunting down the assassins who murdered their family. It's kind of a solitary journey, no allies, just you against the world. The only help you have is a mysterious amulet that again revives you after death, but again it comes at a cost. The gameplay though, it's all about tight, methodical kung fu combat. Enemies won't wait their turn here, so mastering dodges, parries, combos, it's all essential. And then the environments, the world design, just incredible. On top of that then, there's the free Arenas expansion. This added even more with new game modes, new locations, and over 100 challenges to truly test your skills. Slime-san Superslime Edition is 84% off, matching its lowest price, and this one's an underappreciated indie gem. Now I'll be upfront, it's tough at times, but it's also incredibly fun and rewarding. The art style is seriously impressive too. It's got this kind of bold 5-color pixel aesthetic that really gives it a unique look. Now the premise then is simple. Slime-san gets swallowed by a giant worm and now has to escape before being digested. That means wall jumping, dashing and sliming through over 100 Twitch platforming levels packed with hazards and a constant wall of stomach acid that is chasing you. It is intense and it's really all about precision and speed. Now you can slime through certain areas and walls, you can slow down time for tight maneuvers, and you can dash to burst through obstacles. Thankfully, the controls here are incredibly tight, and yeah, once you get into the rhythm, it feels fantastic. On top of this then, there's a ton of content too, extra modes like New Game Plus, Speedrun, Boss Rush, even mini games. So yeah, if you want a challenging platformer, absolutely just buy this one. Our two winners of the week then, Grimwolf and Danby. Congrats on the win both. Email me for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Mary Skelter 2 is 85% off a new low price, and if you're into RPG dungeon crawlers, this could be your next obsession. Now, fair warning here, this one's definitely for mature audiences with its dark themes. But yeah, in this first-person dungeon crawler, you play as Blood Maidens, fairy tale-inspired characters with customizable, character-specific classes. The gameplay revolves around strategic turn-based battles where you need to carefully balance power and madness. The Blood Maidens can basically enter blood-fueled transformations, granting massive powers boost, but risking losing control. The exploration as well, great fun. You're navigating a living person filled with traps and puzzles, or being relentlessly hunted in real time by indestructible nightmares. This game has this constant sense of dread and constant sense of danger. Now, as a bonus then as well, this release also includes the first game, Mary Skelter Nightmares, giving you even more content to dive into. So yeah, look, if you want a dark kind of strategic dungeon crawler with a twisted fairy tale of flair, I guess, it's definitely worth a look. Double Dragon Neon is 33% off a new low price. I reviewed this one about 4 years ago on the channel. Now, personally, I'm a fan. I first played it back on the 360. And while the visual style might not be for everyone, and the controls can honestly be a little awkward at times, I really enjoyed it. It's just kind of, I guess, plain fun. It's packed with good ideas, basically, that outweigh its few missteps, in my opinion, and it runs smoothly on the Switch, which is always a plus. Now, in Neon, you step into the shoes of Billy and Jimmy Lee. Their mission, take down the villainous Skullmageddon and his gang to rescue Marion. You know, it's classic Double Dragon, and the beat-em-up action is alive and wild here, but with twists, new powers, flashier moves, a unique mixtape system that lets you chain combos for maximum impact. There's even minor RPG elements too. Throw in then solid level design, nice selection of weapons, a banging soundtrack, and yeah, I think it's a winner. Maybe most notably, however, as well, I should add this, it's the game's first ever sale, and it released December 21st, 2020. So who knows when we will see it again. So if you like the genre, definitely consider it this time. You may be waiting another 4 years, and you can check out my review in the pinned comments. And that's the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. With that, then a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers all.